Hello and welcome to this clinical encounter presentation from the Department of Family Medicine at RCSI Perdana. I'm Professor Anthony Cummins. This clinical encounter presentation is also referred to as the ATP or Augmented Teaching Practice presentation. This is delivered by you in week 7, usually on the Wednesday, but the day may change. So for all your PowerPoint presentations of this style, you must make sure that you enter your student number, the name of your ATP tutor, the date, and circle which rotation you're on. You should also include a word count. So from your 9 cases, you can choose any 2 of these to present to the Augmented Teaching Practice, the ATP tutor. And on the next screen, we'll show you the outline of this presentation. The important point here is to be brief. Presentation should last no longer than approximately 8 minutes. So you first of all outline the clinical problem. Again, be brief. Just have headlines because you can talk through this, but don't have the screen littered with facts and figures. This is off-putting for the tutor who has to divide his or her time between listening to you and watching your presentation skills and trying to read the text. So keep the text to a minimum. You then provide, if appropriate, examination findings from the patient. You should outline a management plan. Again, be brief, just have headings, and this can be talked through in your presentation. You should outline what your learning need was here and then structure that into a clinical question. You do not need to do a PICO structure on both these cases, but if you prefer to, that's perfectly acceptable. You may do that if you wish. Bear in mind that if it's a prognosis type question, then it won't be a PICO, but it'll just be a PEO structure. You should then outline the sources of information that you used to answer your clinical question. And these do not need to be anything necessarily exotic or of high quality. They can be, for example, a colleague, the GP tutor himself or herself. It can be a textbook. It can also clearly be an online resource. It could be from the Cochrane collaboration, a Dynamic, UpToDate, or any of the myriad of resources you have at your disposal. You should then give a brief summary in your own words of your answer to the question that arose. Thank you. Just a final point. When making any presentation like this involving a patient, please ensure that there are no patient identifiers within this presentation. Once it's been submitted, because it will subsequently, following the presentation, as part of your assignment portfolio, this is one of your formatively assessed assignments. So you will submit it on Moodle before Friday of week 7. You should then destroy your copy of it, but make sure there are no patient identifiers. Refer to patients only by their age and gender. So you would describe your patient as a 50-year-old man or a 60-year-old woman, a 10-year-old boy, 5-year-old girl, etc. But no initials, no name, excuse me, no hospital data whatsoever. Anything that can identify the patient must not be included. Thank you.